The genre drug is one of those concepts like the Purge films, an incredibly cool idea with tons of potential that is bottled and done in the most mundane and uncreative way possible. Taking an idea with limitless potential and choosing a weird and sideways angle to look at it. And that's what the genre drug was in Westworld Season 3, Episode 5, Genre. I want you to take a moment to simply think of the idea of the genre drug, a drug that immerses you into a medley of different types of genre, creating an atmosphere and altering your world to feel as such, so that you can live out the fantasy worlds you see on screen through your own eyes. Think about the ideas your mind could create on a drug like this. What with the sheer intake of media we have nowadays and our incredibly large genre scope as a whole. Presumably, like most hallucinatory drugs, like genre, which is what it seems to be, with Caleb viewing a skewed reality, it would consider your thoughts, your experiences, your personal emotions, and create an experience through these. Even more so as the drug works in line with the implant that the people of the future will have. But instead of creating a crazy genre medley personalized experience for a person, the drug seems to act, at least to us as an audience, as a colour filter with a theme tune. What was even more infuriating about this was that there's some genres I couldn't even put my finger on. I watched it and I thought, what genre are they even trying to make here? When the genre drug first kicked in and went to black and white, my first thought was that they were going to basically rip off the nostalgia sequence from Watchmen 2019 and have a similar life history sequence with Caleb as they did with Angela. So when it turned out to actually be different, I was pleasantly surprised. Although once I had finished the episode, I honestly would have preferred if they had ripped off the nostalgia sequence from Watchmen, because at least that sequence was well executed and well done. The thing about genre was that it was just so So how to fix it? First off, have the whole episode done from the perspective of Caleb. It's incredibly annoying when trying to get immersed in the concept of this genre drug, when every other minute we are pulled out of it when focusing on another character. Just like the nostalgia sequence in Watchmen, the whole episode should run from the point of view of Caleb, immersing us entirely into his distorted world and vision. By doing this, it puts the viewer under the same effect as Caleb. We are also induced in a drug trip the same way he is. We see the distorted world he does, and then we have the capability to fully understand why he is doing what he's doing and why he's saying what he's saying. We can see what he sees always, and therefore understand his perception and thoughts. For something with the name genre, a drug that focuses on immersing you in different genres, we as the audience need to be induced with genre. We need to be immersed. We don't care if Caleb's immersed, because that's no fun for us. Because it's like we're sitting outside, we're neglected from the fun, the experience that he is going through. So that's number one. Never break focus from Caleb and his perspective or point of view. That's really important for something like this. Second, have the drug have a meaningful impact on the course of the narrative of the episode. The episode first off is called Genre, but the genre drug itself does not do anything for the story other than place a few colour filters and music over our perception of the events of the episode, even more so when we are pulled out of it every 2 seconds. So there needs to be a purpose for the drug trip being here, because like I said, it's an incredibly cool idea. As Caleb is put through the genre sequence, why not have the different genres reflect and develop his thoughts in his current situation? So for example, when he goes into the romance genre and he stares at Dolores, why not make it more of a revelatory experience for him? He stares at her and it kicks him into thinking about how devoid his life is of love. He contemplates his Rehoboam prediction about his suicide and lack of future, and it makes almost a juxtaposition-y moment within himself emotionally, as the drug forces him to feel romance when he truly has none. It could be revelatory. It could maybe forcibly push him to seek romance with Dolores as a result. Maybe it contributes to his dampened mood later on. Instead, it's just played off kind of for laughs, and it's honestly slightly frustrating when you think of the potential for some great character development and insight. The very first one, for example, when he's in this mystery kind of genre, like a mafia cop thing, and he becomes suspicious of passers-by. This is a great moment to embellish his trapped feelings of always being watched and followed. Once again, especially after his discovery of his Rehoboam record, which reveals his constricted and constructed future. This genre could enrage him, it could propel him, or it could bring him down a notch. Instead, what we get is him looking a bit confused. Third, have the effects of the drug properly transform the world in which we view. so people are visually different. Scenarios are altered and hallucinated, because that's totally stuff drugs can do, especially in the future. Things can be fabricated from thin air. Things can be imagined in crazy ways. So for example, the people he passes on the street could be wearing different clothing and sound different, and buildings could be visually altered to fit the genre and setting. You could have Dolores turn and speak to him at different points, in ranging outfits and accents, and just have fun with the concept. Explore a genre medley. When we go into the action Ride of the Valkyries genre, make the explosion that happens be 10 times the size for effect. Have Caleb start making catchphrases and dual-wielding grenade launchers. This is all stuff that can happen because we are only seeing Caleb's perception. So it isn't really happening, we are just seeing what he sees. So make everything like it is the genre. Change it all, the setting almost entirely, which is something they can clearly do. They made a western feel real, and a samurai setting, and the future. The only difference being that it's a drug, so it can be embellished and done in an overly dramatic way to show its ridiculous nature. There's so much fun to be had with this. The costumes, the environment, the dialect and speech, the stereotypes of each genre being used throughout could be amazing. 4 is just make the genres clearer. Seriously, just make it so I can point at the screen and go, oh hey, that's what they're doing now. So yeah, that's it. I wanted to voice my opinion on this because it's such a cool idea. It really is. I can't help but feel like they squandered it slightly. Maybe I'm thinking too ambitiously and the budget simply doesn't serve for this, but I just wanted more out of it. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment and a like if you see fit. Thanks for watching and have a good day.